My name's TJ Mannarino. I'm the Director of Art and Design for the Entertainment Division for Universal Orlando Resort. And we're going to take you a little bit through a walk of a wonderful exhibit here at the History Center called A Year in the Life, Backstage to Onstage at Universal Orlando Resort. It focuses on our annual events that we produce yearly, and we take you through each of the seasons, from Mardi Gras for the spring, to the summer Superstar Parade, to the Cinematic Spectacular, to the fall's wonderful and interesting Halloween Horror Nights, to the winter season of Macy's and the Mannheim Steamroller Concert. It starts off in your experience of kind of showing you how things come to life, and this was kind of a way to illustrate it, is that we have a raw wall that has a design document, and as you walk down through the process, it actually starts to come to life into its actually finished form. Very whimsical, you'll find, and most of this attraction is definitely geared towards a younger group to actually help inspire them for the next generation of designers and creators. So as you go through, we have interactive activities, we have places that you can actually view and see different types of wonderful design documents, but they also have little step stools for smaller kids to be able to come up and look at the documents. As you make your way around, you actually have a video tour guide that will actually give you a little bit of information that talks about what you're about to see or what maybe you just saw. You push a button, it interacts, and you have...
Hello, welcome to the History Center. You've just taken the first steps on a behind-the-scenes look at a year in the life of Universal Orlando Resort.
The first element you come in contact with actually is the history, which is very important to not only us but the History Center. Is that since Universal Orlando actually has grown here for over 22 years, it actually was based in Central Florida, and all of the attractions, the designs, and the artists all live in Central Florida. So all of this actually is really a rich history for Central Florida's past and future. We kind of show you where all of the events kind of come from the various years of 1991, with Halloween Horror Nights being one day and only 3 nights and one haunted house, to multiple nights now and multiple haunted houses, to the other events from Mardi Gras to Macy's Holiday Parade. And at the same time, we show you how the events have grown. We actually show you how the park has grown. And this is a wonderful way to illustrate is that before Universal ever came here, it was one big plot of land. And then actually at different points in time, we stop you and show you how the park grew from the first gate to the second gate of Highlands of Adventure to where it is today with the multiple attractions and shows that are offered. At this point, we actually have taken you past the history, and now you've seen where we've been. We kind of show you how all the stuff that we create all goes through the same process. We broke it down into 3 simple steps for our audience, with simple steps of concept, development, and production. And as you make your way into this next section, each areas are defined with an overhead element that says the concept phase, the development phase, and the production phase. Each phase has interactives that you can look at and videos to view. And so, stuff like in here, well, we'll flip this over. This was a fun one. Because of course, I'm going to go that way for Halloween Horror Nights. But stuff in here, again, as we showed, so some of where the suggestions of concepts come from, where ideals are born, some of the elements that we use to create those different types of pieces, from scripts to concept sketches to models. And the last part is that this fun little interactive, like we said, for our smaller guests can come up and look at. If you flip through a book, that kind of shows how we come up with the development concepts for some of the stuff that we produce. This one focuses on the Summer Spectacular, cinematic 100 years of movie memories. This is a fun piece. This is something that the History Center conceived after talking to us for most of the summer. A lot of part of this exhibit is to show that at any given time of the year, there's multiple different things happening in the design and development phases. And this kind of breaks it down over just 4 major projects. The colors represent the different events, from Halloween Horror Nights being this kind of orangish color, to the summer events being the green, to the blue being holidays, and to Mardi Gras. And then it steps you through the calendar year, starting off January, ending all the way in December. And it takes you also through the phases, from operating the events to installing them or actually design developing. So right now in January, we're in the process of installing Mardi Gras, getting ready to open in February. But Halloween Horror Nights is definitely in development. As you can see, it's mostly in development all year, where Christmas and holiday seasons actually are kind of at a lull right now. They don't get to start to kick in until later in the year. And then there's little points that I pulled out on the fun things. The development phase is another step in the process. But again, fun interactives here for our audience is to take a look at things that they might see every day, but to kind of get underneath the covers and understand what it takes to create, what is it for special effects for a haunted house. If you were to come over here, you have the ability to kind of flip through some of these haunted house design mazes and pull out something that shows you different special effects designs. Now this is quite a few years ago, but again, the process hasn't changed. We're just trying to use different techniques. Probably most of this will be done on the computer now, but it's just kind of laying out a haunted house where you would put air effects, sound effects, different types of, atmospherics like smoke or fog. So fun interactives for our audience to kind of explore. And the last part of this second phase is the production. Now that you've actually conceptualized it, you've developed the designs and all the details from the technical drawings, this is where we get a chance to actually produce it. And I want to show our audience the different types of people it takes to produce all the different elements, from costume fabrication to actually prop building and to prosthetics. We have a fun little interactive over here that shows prosthetics with a video goes with it, and then kind of a fun touchy-feely area that you can kind of feel the different types of stuff that's used to create the prosthetic molds and latexes. We've seen this being highly responsive to smaller kids that have never really come in contact with these types of materials before, and it's fun for them to kind of touch and feel it and get kind of excited about the different types of stuff it takes. Now that you've kind of gone through the two phases, the third phase is that you've seen where we've been. We would show you what it takes. The last part is to kind of put you in the middle of the event itself. And if you've never been there, if you're a fan and never been to this event, this is hopefully to capture a little bit of that. But they show you some of the elements that kind of encompass it. And then some fun interactives for the students to play with. And probably the most important thing to us and the History Center when we sat down to actually work with the overall product and to collaborate, it was to actually show to our audience, and definitely that next generation of students that come through the History Center, is that all the different people it takes. It's not just one type of person, one type of talent. We mix so many different diverse backgrounds, different talents, experiences, all these different wonderful things together to produce these events. And this was a way to kind of illustrate that to our audience. We come over this way. Away from them. And we kind of gave it a very simple aspect to kind of show it visually happening, and then small descriptions below it. And then hopefully this will be what we want to be our biggest goal, is for that next student to say, you know what, I can see myself being that person in that picture. And for us, that's what we feel this is all about, is to really help educate and inspire, to get people to say, you know what, I never saw this, I never was aware of that, I didn't know that the stuff that I like can actually become a career, and that's what we think this exhibit is really all about. Now the fun thing also is that we change it 4 times a year. So right now it's Mardi Gras, we just showed you the Mardi Gras component of it, but during the spring, when we move to the summer, we'll actually flip that over and do stuff focused on the Superstar Parade and the Cinematographic Spectacular. And then we'll go fall, which is Halloween Horror Nights, and then definitely back into the winter with Macy's and Mannheim. So it should be fun. If you want to come back and see it again, you'll see a whole different experience.